Pick a topic.
I am going to the topic.
I don't know if this bit will be in.
Going to the topic bucket. Pulling one out. What do we think is the most unbreakable stat record?
Yes. Okay. Do you want to start on me? I feel like it's got to be LeBron's points.
Yes, I reckon.
That still could be broken.
Depends. Yeah, I was going to say depends on... Because people probably thought that no one was going to get near Jordan, and then the game evolved. No one thought they were going to get near Kareem, then the game evolved.
That's a good point.
I think it's just going to come down to how the game evolves, because we don't know. Like, someone, for example, in the next 2 or 3 drafts, or maybe next 10 drafts, comes in and is just a dominant scorer off the bat, just because you look at Shea's current year. If he does this every year...
Oh, yeah, imagine.
If he does that every year...
It's like 34 points or something,
he breaks
right?
the record. Yeah.
But the difficult bit is, right, so LeBron's had the longevity.
It's the longevity,
He's had 30 points averaging pretty much every season, barely injured, playoffs, well, the regular season's record doesn't count, but like he's a machine. And
oh, absolutely. And longevity is the other side of it, and doing it, not just doing it for a long time, doing it well for a long time, and also doing it from point A. You know, like, you can't come in to the NBA if you want to break that record. You can't come in and be okay for your first few years, average 20 points. You gotta average 30 for, like, what was it, like 15 years?
I think so.
It's crazy.
Think so. And like, I think people were comparing like Doncic to maybe do it or something. But I think even that's too late.
He's out of
now.
time. Yeah.
It's
just, Shea's out of time.
You've got to like come out of like even high school, like LeBron did, and be a goat.
Yeah, it's got
be a goat.
It will have to be out of high school, because you lose years coming out of college.
I forget if that's actually something they do now. If they actually let people from high school,
probably not.
I think it was a rule, obviously.
And that's what I'm saying. So away. Just the.
But I've heard people talk about it coming back. Maybe
just the evolution of the game makes records breakable or unbreakable.
Yes.
So who could have broken the record? Someone might have been able to break the record in the 50s if there was a 3-point line.
Another.
Like if they had the 4-point line, that adds a whole nother dimension. And then you bring in the next Curry, and he revolutionizes the 4-point line, and you got a whole new game.
Yeah, that would be. I think it's interesting.
I think it just comes down to how the game is going to evolve, because like, just in all sports,
it's hard to predict.
In all sports, there's eras of how the game evolves, and you look at stats back in the day, and you go, how on earth were they doing this? And it's because the game allowed for it.
Some of these records, though, like Curry's 3-point record,
that I reckon can be broken.
Yeah. What about like Bill Russell's 11 rings?
11, that I reckon will be hard.
I feel like they all can be breakable, but they're just it's gonna take a long time.
I think if anyone is going to break, I think what's more impressive about Bill Russell's record is that it was all with the Celtics.
Well, that's the thing. So they didn't have as many teams as well.
Exactly.
And it was back in that day,
has evolved, so it's harder, because you just when was the last three-peat was early 2000s.
Yes.
You're just not going to see that happen again.
The Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
Yeah. So I think the only way that someone will break that is if they hop teams and just get lucky that every team they go on. So they maybe
like you have a Robert Horry with 7 rings.
Yeah. So maybe you win. You're like 3 in 4 years. So you come in as a rookie, 3 in 4 years, then jump teams, win another 3 in 4 years.
It's luck.
Because you got to play for a minimum 11 years.
Still have to be. I still think you'd have to be a good star player.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm saying like KD hop teams.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't a star, but I'm saying there's no way anyone could do it with one team.
You can break any of these records we're probably talking about on 2K. That's for sure. But
if you're playing for the Thunder, because 2K make the Thunder win every year.
Yeah. So another one obviously has to be Wilt's, if we even think that's
100.
Actually a record that has happened.
Okay, well then can someone beat 81?
Yes.
100%.
100%. 100 though?
100 if it exists.
I think. I mean, I go back to. I think Dame had an interview, and about his 71-point game, and he said it's definitely possible. Like he didn't think it was, but after
Yeah.
that game, because he
But you
had
just
missed
think,
so
like-
many shots in that game too.
Yeah,
still.
but you have to have a perfect
It
game.
needs to go. Yes, you needed you have had some a few weeks ago, and actually no, it might have even only been a few days ago against the Knicks. Spurs play the Knicks.
Yeah.
I forget his name. Mamashulashevsky.
Oh, yeah,
Dropped like
34
30-something,
in 19 minutes.
90-something% from the field.
That is how you have to do it.
That's how you have to do it.
And
yeah.
that's what makes me think,
overtime as well helps
like,
that.
I know all of the players that have all these high records and these high point totals are guards. I don't think it can be broken by a guard.
You reckon?
Because
Wilt's
you've just got to...
It's tougher. It's tougher.
The volume of shots, and you got to hit them constantly. Because you look at, for example, in the current NBA, Jokic's 30 points come a lot easier than Shea's 30 points.
Yeah, because the centers and power forwards in the league, their average, like they make more buckets from the field, average, like
their shooting percentage is a lot higher.
Yeah.
So that's I reckon like what's his name? Like Olivier Rio or the French guy. I don't know what college he's playing for. He's like 7. If he gets drafted, he'll be the tallest player ever.
Wow.
He's like 70 pounds heavier
I
than
might have
Wemby.
seen this.
Yeah, he's I think he's another French giant. I don't know what they're feeding them over there. Frog legs.
Snails.
But yeah, I think it would have to be someone that can just stand under the basket and just drop it. And because you have, again, I'll bring up Shea again just because he is scoring at such high volumes at the moment. First of all, he's on a good team, so he's only playing like 30 minutes a game. You're not dropping 100 on 30 minutes a game.
If you coach under like Thibodeau,
he'll give you 48 minutes a game. Yeah. But then also, playing that, a lot of driving, a lot of physical stuff, high defense. I think someone that breaks it would have to not worry about defense as much.
Get to the free throw line.
They would, get to the free throw line, but also they would probably spend less energy getting these points.
That's why I think of like a Steph Curry or a Dame even still.
Just
like,
pop up and shoot it.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously really hard though at the high end.
Because I reckon
you just got to like Klay Thompson's done it, where he's hit like the most threes, I think. But he only still even got like 50 in that game, I think.
I think in my mind the scenario and the type of player to do it would be like a more evolved Wemby chair type that can shoot the 3 ball. But can also go in and just stand under the basket and drop it in.
Like I think of like a LeBron or like a Ben Simmons if they could shoot.
Yeah.
Like at a Steph Curry level.
Because
that's
obviously you can hit 50 shots just standing under the basket, and if you're playing a team that has, because there's no footage of the game. Yeah.
But I'm assuming he would have just gotten to the basket.
I assume the center playing on him was probably my height.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's possible. Kobe was 19 points away, but 19 is a lot.
But like, I
think you have to score 25 because we see players drop 20 in a quarter. That's huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if they drop 20 in the first quarter, they're on pace for 80, and that most of the time when they drop 20 in the first quarter, they played all 12 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So they would have to play 48 minutes a game.
Well, you need overtime, I think.
Definitely.
That's why I'm going back to overtime.
Multiple overtime.
And I think the latest games we've had is like the D Mitch and the Lillard and also Doncic as well. I know most of those went to overtime. I think one of them may not have. I'd have to check the facts on that. But yeah, what player in the league I was going to ask has gotten the most points in a game? Like, I think it's Doncic is 73.
Yeah.
So he would be. He's the closest.
Statistically, he's the closest. But
who is the next person that would be even near? Like, it could be the Wemby.
I reckon Wemby.
Yeah.
I think because he's got like that multi-dimensional ability to score from behind the line. Because he hit there was one game where he hit like 4 or 5 threes.
I think he's hitting like 50 in a game. I think.
Yeah, I'm talking about threes.
Yeah.
Because he can get behind the line and he can shoot them. Because then that just stretches the floor, and then one quarter he hits 4 threes and just sits under the basket for the next, he could do it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It would be damn hard.
I mean, I think when Lillard hit his 71, I remember him saying first of all, the team he played was the Rockets, who weren't good at the time, so that also comes into factor. But I feel like they would start to switch on and stop you. I think of a KD, right, who hasn't had. You would think I think his most points in a game was in the 50s.
Yeah,
you would
and
think
he
that would
is
be
one
way
of
higher.
the most talented scorers.
You would think it'd be way
history.
higher.
Yeah.
But I think the defense just ends up figuring it out and stopping it by the time. Yeah, there's a lot of things having to come into factor with that.
I think one record that I think probably will be broken is Russ's.
Oh, the triple-double? I was
triple-doubles
thinking
in
that
the
was the next
season.
one I was going to bring up.
I think
will
Jokic
break.
can definitely break it.
Yeah, he's on track, I think.
You're seeing Giddey getting close.
Yeah, I mean...
Not getting close, but he's getting consistent triple-doubles.
I'd have to go back to when... back to when Russ was starting to getting him. It started to look like it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I haven't heard...
I
know
mean, the best
Jokic
thing to do is average one, and Jokic is averaging a triple-double.
In a season, yeah. That's
and what he could
ridiculous.
do is once he starts to get older and maybe slows down, he starts dropping 12, 12, and 12 instead of 28, 15, and 11.
Yeah,
it narrows down, and then he's always hitting that mark.
That is still going to be a hard record to beat for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But I think
there.
that will definitely be broken.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
because I didn't. Did we think the 2020 was going to be broken this soon?
Oh, like the Russ's game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, Jokic would be the player to do it.
Exactly.
And
I
who's
think
done it.
Jokic is the player.
Is anyone beating the 30-20-20? I think Jokic can do it again. Wemby.
I know I keep bringing him up, and
assists though. Wemby for 20 assists.
That's the issue. But if he plays like Jokic, just back it down.
Yeah.
Who knows? Isaiah Hartenstein, he'll do it.
Yeah.
He's got the passing. No.
Something slipped out of my head. Shit.
What other records are there?
That's what I was going to say. So, out of all the records we've said, what would be the one? I think it's Bill Russell.
The least breakable?
Yeah, I think it's the Bill Russell.
Probably.
11 rings.
Yeah, that's just...
that is possible still, but it's just the hardest one.
Yeah. Who's got the most now?
That's active.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Curry and Clay and Draymond.
Yeah.
4. And that's that's nowhere near.
Yeah. And then you got... I don't know, there could be someone, because, Jeff Green has 4. Is it Green? When the Warriors won the last one and someone was taunting him up the tunnel and he just went
I don't remember.
I don't know who it was. It was someone, but yeah, just a random role player that's just gotten lucky, bounced around to the right teams.
Yeah. I think of that reminds me of I think his name's Patrick McCaw. He was on the Raptors team.
All right.
And he was on the Warriors team before that.
Oh, and
so he had
across,
I think he's got 3 rings or something.
Yeah.
And he's a player that's not even in the league anymore. But that's 3 rings more than Chris Paul.
Yeah.
So it's just that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
I think it would have to be as I said on multiple teams. There's no way that
the Robert
team...
Horry type of player is a player that can break it.
Yeah.
If a player like that comes back, a player is good. He may have been the 3rd or 4th option on the team.
But yeah, good enough to start and
good enough to start, good enough to actually be good in the team.
Yeah, and be kept around. But the thing, I just don't think one team will be so dominant over such a long period of time in order to get... Because...
Well, the league put stuff into action to
right
stop
now,
that.
I think the closest you'd get is LeBron if he won every one of his finals.
Honestly,
he played in enough finals.
It would have been him. Yeah.
Or he'd be at 10, yeah.
Yeah, that's wow, I imagine.
Exactly, yeah. So it would have to be someone that's in the right place, constantly getting to finals and winning them.
Well, some of those finals he made, there was no chance, but there was some that he definitely
obviously,
could have.
2007, he wasn't winning that.
Yeah, but then the Mavericks one
should have won that.
Should have won that. The Warriors is hard because
he shouldn't have won
2016.
So
yeah.
Balance.
Yeah, I guess.
Did 2020 actually count? It's just going to come down to
well, that's a debate because some people say
no, it does count, but
I obviously think it counts for sure, and that's not
do.
the bias. Where there it is.
There it is.
But like that. I mean, it's hard because there's two different perspectives. Some people say the Mickey ring, a Disney. You have Steven Adams like saying the bubble's like fucking paradise.
Yeah.
But then you have like the other rest of the league going like it was torture, it was this, it was
LeBron's
that.
like, I didn't get to see my family.
I mean, yeah. I mean that was one of my favorite seasons of all time. That was.
Yeah. It wasn't for me because the Rockets ended the Thunder season.
Yeah. But it was just
it was fun to watch. And
like
you had like
players popping off, like TJ Warren like,
in the bubble
as the example. But like there were just some like it felt like they were actually playing.
Yeah,
like
good basketball.
Their best.
Yeah.
I saw like this goes off topic now, but I saw a tweet today from D-Book. Again, another tweet. I don't know why, but he said some like it's. I don't know what he does this for, but he said, basketball shouldn't be played in a stadium. Yeah. Which is interesting. Which I don't know. I think he's implying they're playing outside in like a court.
Nah.
I disagree.
Because as soon as it rains, he's just gonna have a big whinge and everything.
I disagree with it.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's
I can see where he's coming from.
No.
I can see where he's coming from, but like
that's a terrible call.
It's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah,
That annoyed me today when I saw that.
That was terrible.
Yeah, but back to the records now. I can't think of any other records. I feel like
no.
I mean, we've almost honestly listed all of the
the
main
ones.
ones.
I mean, like steals in a season. Dyson Daniels is getting close.
Yeah, that's breakable. What I mean, I don't even know who has that.
I think he's about to break it.
I mean, like the assists all
I was
time.
going to say assists all time. Yeah.
John Stockton. Anyone beat that?
Again, probably just the way the game's evolving. Because you ask someone back in the 80s or 90s, is someone going to break this record? They go, no way.
Yeah.
And then if they looked at how the game was being played today, they'd go, oh, well, obviously. So we just don't know what the game is going to look like in 10, 20, 30, 40 years even. We're just going to have to wait and see. I got something stuck in my throat.
Yeah, well, I think we've nailed the nail in the coffin. Is that what they say? With that one?
Stuck there, whatever.
Yeah, I think we can
put the ball in the hoop.
We both agree with the Bill Russell record.
That's a good shout.
And then we've got, I mean, other ones after that, like all-time points.
But they're all just like what ifs, maybe, you know? Right now, no, they're not breakable.
We need Jimmy High Roller's stats to come out and find out.
Get the chart out. Get the X and Y axis.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Is that it?
I like that. What do you reckon?
Comment.
What is the most unbreakable record? And what is one record that you reckon will be broken in maybe recent?
That is like that's
history,
one that may.
For me, it's the triple doubles in a season. As painful as it is for me to say, with 1,
2, 3
Ross jerseys behind me
and 5 Thunder jerseys.
5 Thunder jerseys. What do you reckon? All right, let us know.
Yes.